Rappers who have been robbed in broad daylight. Rappers, they're the epitome of street cred, right? Flashing cash, dripping in diamonds, and always talking tough. But here's the thing, when you're face to face with a gun, sometimes all that swagger goes out the window, and all you could do? Run for your life. Today, we're diving into the wild world of hip-hop heists. We'll break down some of the most shocking robberies, targeting some of the biggest names in the game. 2 Chainz. So let's rewind the tape and start at the beginning. Our first stop? San Francisco, 2013. 2 Chainz is in town for a show at the Oracle Arena. He's walking down the street with his entourage, probably thinking about his performance later that night. But someone else has different plans. As 2 Chainz and his crew strolled down the 800 block of Mission Street, near the bustling Moscone Center, 3 men approached. At first, it might have seemed like some eager fans looking for an autograph. But this meet and greet was about to turn deadly serious. One of the men pulled out a handgun. In an instant, the mood shifts from a casual afternoon stroll to a life-or-death situation. Surveillance footage caught the whole scene. The rapper booking it down the street, his attackers in hot pursuit. In the chaos, a single shot rang out. Luckily, no one was hit, but the robbers made off with 2 Chainz' cell phone, cash, and credit cards. The bling they were after? That stayed put, probably thanks to the rapper's quick feet. The getaway car, described as a gray sedan, peeled off into the San Francisco streets. Just like that, the whole thing was over. When news of the robbery broke, 2 Chainz initially denied it on Twitter. Rule number 1, if a rapper gets robbed, people usually post items that have been taken. Rings, chains, watch, money, and etc. to answer that question. But eventually, the truth came out. 2 Chainz had indeed been robbed. Despite the scare, he still made it to his show that night at the Oracle Arena. The show must go on, right? But you could bet he was looking over his shoulder a bit more after that close call. Money Gang Vontae. Now, let's fast forward to June 2022.
You feel me? Punching him out, jumping him, breaking his arm, all type of shit, bro. What? Then they pull out the iron and get the 5 on his ass. Wow.
We're heading to the Bronx, New York. This story doesn't have a happy ending. Money Gang Vontae, an up-and-coming drill rapper from Los Angeles, was in the Big Apple for a show. He stopped by Amazing Pharmacy on East Tremont Avenue. He needed some eye drops, just a quick errand before his performance. In and out. But as Vontae leaves the pharmacy with his friend, 4 men approach them. They want Vontae's jewelry, his phone, his money, all of it. Vontae resists. He's a tough guy after all, but he's outnumbered. The attackers beat him to the ground, right there on the sidewalk. But they're not done. They force Vontae back into the pharmacy at gunpoint. And then, multiple shots ring out. Vontae's hit in the torso, again and again. By the time the ambulance arrives, it's too late. Money Gang Vontae, just 27 years old, is pronounced dead at St. Barnabas Hospital. The brutal attacks caught on surveillance video. 4 men are later indicted for the murder. Police later revealed that this wasn't just a random attack. It was a planned hit. The 4 men had been lying in wait, ready to pounce when Vontae appeared. They saw an opportunity and seized it, with deadly consequences. It's a stark reminder of how quickly things can turn deadly. 1 minute you're buying eye drops? K Supreme. But not all of these stories have such a tragic ending. Let's rewind it a bit to 2021. We're in Atlanta now, home to some of the biggest names in rap. One of those names? K-Supreme. He's not a household name like some of the others we'll talk about, but in Atlanta's rap scene, he's making waves. So, as he and his friend head to their car, everything seems normal. Just another day in the A. They're not expecting what comes next. Out of nowhere, several guys run up on them. One of them is holding what K-Supreme later described as a large gun. He doesn't hesitate. He takes off running, leaving his friend behind. The friend, oddly calm, just gets into the passenger seat of K-Supreme's car. The robbers chase after K-Supreme, probably cursing the fact that they picked a victim who can run so fast. Eventually, they give up the chase, but not before presumably grabbing whatever valuables K-Supreme left behind in his mad dash to safety. When the footage of this incident surfaced online, fans were shocked. Some even speculated that K-Supreme's friend might have been in on it. After all, who stays that calm during an armed robbery? But anyway, the important thing is, K-Supreme made it out alive. XXXTentacion. Now we come to one of the most tragic stories in recent hip-hop history.
Surveillance cameras captured the ambush of rapper XXXTentacion as he prepared to leave a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront XXXTentacion. One of the men goes into his car. Then there's a confrontation and a robbery, and the men shoot and kill the talented young artist.
It's June 18, 2018. We're in Deerfield Beach, Florida. A young rapper named XXXTentacion is about to become the victim of a robbery that will shock the music world. XXXTentacion, born Jaseon Froy, was just 20 years old. He was a rising star. On this fateful day, he decided to check out Riva Motorsports, a high-end motorcycle and boat dealership. But he was being followed. A dark-colored Dodge Journey SUV had tailed him from the Bank of America where he'd just withdrawn $50,000 in cash. Inside that SUV were four men: Dedrick Williams, Robert Allen, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsom. They had recognized XXXTentacion's distinctive BMW i8 and saw an opportunity. As XXX browsed the dealership with his uncle, two of the men from the SUV entered the store. They walked right past the rapper, buying two black masks. It was all part of their plan. About 30 minutes later, XXXTentacion left the dealership and got into his car. That's when the trap was sprung. The SUV blocked XXX's exit from the parking lot. Boatwright and Newsom jumped out, guns in hand, demanding the rapper's property. XXX's uncle, terrified, fled the scene. The young rapper fought back, confused and scared. Newsom reached into the car and grabbed XXX's Louis Vuitton bag, containing the $50,000 in cash. But the robbery wasn't over. In a senseless act of violence, Boatwright raised his rifle, looked XXXTentacion in the eyes, and fired multiple shots. The killers fled, leaving XXXTentacion bleeding in his car. He was rushed to the nearby Broward Health North, but it was too late. At 5:30 p.m., the young rapper was pronounced dead. PNB Rock. Our next story takes us to Los Angeles, September 12, 2022. PNB Rock, a 30-year-old rapper from Philadelphia, was about to have lunch with his girlfriend at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles. It was supposed to be a casual meal. Instead, it turned into his last. Around 1:15 p.m., a man entered the restaurant. He approached PNB's table, pulled out a gun, and demanded the rapper's jewelry. Then, witnesses reported hearing multiple gunshots, and in the chaos, the gunman grabbed some of PNB's jewelry and fled to a waiting getaway car. Meanwhile, PNB Rock lay on the restaurant floor. He was pronounced dead at the hospital, but the most tragic part is that apparently, the thief and murderer was able to find the rapper's location because of a post his girlfriend shared at that very moment. This pattern of revealing your own location on social media has cost more than one life, as we'll see now. Pop Smoke. February 19, 2020, Hollywood Hills, California. Pop Smoke. He's staying at a house in the Hollywood Hills, rented through Airbnb. It's around 4:30 in the morning. 5 hooded men break in through a second-story balcony. Inside, they confront a woman, holding a gun to her head. They threaten to kill her, and then they find Pop Smoke. There's a confrontation. Shots are fired. By the time the police arrive, just 6 minutes after receiving a call from the East Coast, it's too late. Pop Smoke is rushed to the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Doctors perform emergency surgery, opening up the left side of his chest in a desperate attempt to save his life. But the damage is too severe. A few hours later, Pop Smoke is pronounced dead. At first, the LAPD thought this might be gang-related. Pop Smoke had ties to the Crips, after all. But as they dug deeper, they realized this was a robbery gone horribly wrong. The intruders had stolen Pop Smoke's gold watch and other jewelry before fleeing. The day before the murder, Pop Smoke had posted several images on social media. In one of them, the address of the Airbnb was visible in the background. In another post, he showed off some gifts he'd received. The packaging clearly displayed the house's full address. Pop Smoke had unknowingly given away his location to the whole world, and someone took advantage of that information in the worst way possible. Young Dolph. Now, let's head to Memphis, Tennessee. November 17, 2021. Young Dolph, born Adolph Thornton Jr., is a hometown hero in Memphis. He's known for his independent spirit, having turned down major label deals to build his own empire. On this particular day, he's doing something simple, something he's probably done 100 times before. He's buying cookies. Makita's Homemade Butter Cookies on Airways Boulevard. It's a local spot, the kind of place that keeps a community together. Young Dolph is a regular here. He loves their cookies. But on this day, as he stands inside the shop, 2 men pull up outside. They jump out of their car, guns drawn, and then they open fire into the store. Young Dolph is hit multiple times. By the time it's over, he has about 22 gunshot wounds scattered across his body, his head, his back, his neck, and his arms. The attackers flee, leaving behind a community in shock and a family in mourning. Young Dolph was just 36 years old. Safari Samuels. Next is Safari Samuels. April 2018, Fort Lee, New Jersey. Safari's returning home to his luxury apartment building, the Modern. But on this day, 3 men are waiting for him. They've been planning this for weeks, tracking Safari's Instagram, looking at pictures of his jewelry. They even put a GPS tracker on his car. As Safari pulls into the parking garage, 2 men approach him from behind. One of them has a gun. There's a struggle, and then it's over. The robbers make off with $180,000 worth of jewelry. The robbers jump into a black Cadillac Escalade and take off, but the police are already on their way. What follows is a high-speed chase across the George Washington Bridge, and then a crash. The car hits a concrete divider on the Henry Hudson Parkway South Ramp. One by one, they're caught. And Safari? He gets his stuff back. His wallet, his jewelry, all recovered from the crashed car. Chief Keef. Now, sometimes a robbery attempt doesn't go quite as planned.
And you lost a lot of friends to violence, huh? Mention some of the names. Let's give them a space right now that you've lost to violence.
My cousin, Bud, my brother, Cap, Capo, Marvin.
2018, New York City. Our protagonist this time? Chief Keef. He's a controversial figure in rap. He's known for his influence on Chicago's drill scene, but also for his legal troubles. So what happened this time? Around 4:40 in the morning, Chief Keef is at the W Hotel in Midtown Manhattan when a shot rings out. It's fired outside the hotel, near where Chief Keef is. He doesn't get hit. In fact, it's not entirely clear if he was even the intended target. The police arrive on the scene. They find a bullet hole in the facade of the W Hotel. 2 men in hoodies were seen leaving the scene, but they're long gone by now. Chief Keef tells the police about an ongoing dispute he's been having on social media with another rapper. A rapper, he says, that nobody's heard of. Is this connected? The police aren't sure, but the important thing is that no robbery or injuries occurred that night. So, there you have it. 9 rappers that got robbed in broad daylight. After all, the streets really are tough, no matter how famous you are. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more.